On a fateful day in August 2025, chaos erupted in the waters of the Indo-Pacific. Picture this: two imposing Chinese warships, fiercely competing for dominance, collided. This embarrassing incident unfolded while they were brazenly taunting a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. Was this merely an accident, or a glaring crack in the facade of the mighty Chinese People's Liberation Army, known as the Plan? As fearsome as the Plan appears on paper, are its ships truly battle-ready? The incident raised eyebrows and stoked doubts about the actual strength of the world's largest navy. Footage captured by the Philippine Coast Guard reveals a Type 056 corvette hot on the heels of a Philippine catch. In a frantic attempt to turn sharply, this corvette miscalculated drastically. Just like that, the Type 052D destroyer made a sudden appearance, and the tension escalated. With the engines roaring, the corvette executed what the Philippines would later label a reckless maneuver. Instead of executing a clever intercept, it smashed headlong into the destroyer's bow. The impact was startling. Reports suggest it resulted in the deaths of 2 Chinese sailors. As the crew scrambled to toss safety fenders overboard, the impending crash loomed ominously. Imagine the destruction. If that destroyer had struck either of the smaller vessels, the toll could have been catastrophic, with lives lost and ships sinking beneath the waves. The weight disparity is staggering. The Type 052D destroyer tips the scales at around 7,500 tons, while the Type 056 corvette weighs in at a mere 1,500 tons. Their lengths are just as divergent, 525 feet versus 295 feet. This collision not only exposed the questionable tactics of their crews but also threw into question the overall quality of Plan's growing fleet. What does this say about a navy built on vast numbers but possibly shaky fundamentals? Analysts are beginning to assert that while the Plan may lead in sheer numbers, when it comes to quality, it appears to lag behind its potential adversary, the U.S. This revelation could profoundly shift the narratives of future naval confrontations. The stakes couldn't be higher. As tensions simmer and the geopolitical landscape shifts, will the true power of the Plan emerge? Only time will tell. The size difference between the Type 052D destroyer and the Type 056 corvette is staggering. The destroyer tips the scales at around 7,500 tons, almost 5 times that of the corvette's 1,500 tons. Lengthwise, the disparity is just as striking, the Type 052D stretching roughly 525 feet, while the Type 056 corvette measures about 295 feet. But the story behind that collision isn't just about ship size or armada numbers, it reveals cracks beneath the surface of China's sprawling navy. Beyond the questionable decisions made by the crews during that dangerous encounter, the crash has ignited new doubts about the quality of China's People's Liberation Army Navy, or the Plan. This fleet may now be the largest on Earth, outranking the United States by a significant margin, but does bigger really mean better? Some military experts suggest this accident spotlights a troubling truth. The Plan leads in numbers but profoundly trails behind when it comes to the craftsmanship and operational finesse essential for a truly formidable navy. If a major conflict ever erupts between these naval giants, this gap in quality could prove decisive. To understand why this gulf exists, we need to rewind nearly half a century. Back in 1978, China was among the world's poorest nations. About 85% of its population lived in deep poverty, surviving on a GDP per person of just $229, an amount roughly 46 times smaller than that of the US at the time. Its massive standing army, with 2 million troops, was hampered not by lack of manpower but by obsolete, unreliable equipment. That year marked a turning point. Deng Xiaoping, then the paramount leader, launched the sweeping reform and opening up strategy. This policy embraced market reforms, welcomed foreign investments, and created special economic zones to spark unprecedented growth. What followed was nothing short of revolutionary. Over the next 50 years, more than 800 million people rose out of poverty. China's GDP per capita skyrocketed 59-fold, soaring past $13,000. Measured by purchasing power parity, China surged to the world's largest economy, overtaking the United States by around 30% in 2014. Yet, while the economic ascent transformed China into a manufacturing powerhouse, its industrial output dwarfing that of the US, South Korea, Germany, and the UK combined, the military domain remains a work in progress. So, is China's navy truly ready to match its numerical dominance with superior strength and skill? Or is this recent collision a loud alarm bell about deeper structural weaknesses that could jeopardize its ambitions? The next chapter will explore the mysteries behind the fleet's rapid expansion and the hidden challenges lurking below its steel surface. The rapid advancements in Chinese technology have been astonishing. Recently, the Beijing Institute of Technology introduced the world's first cyborg bee. This small marvel features a microcontroller weighing only 74 milligrams, securely fastened to the bee's back. It permits precision movements, suitable for a variety of tasks, from military surveillance to rescue missions in disaster-stricken areas. While not yet available at Shenzhen's newly opened 6S Robot Store, this innovation hints at a thriving robotics sector in China. But robotics is just the beginning. China dominates in mobile technology too, leading the globe with an astounding 4.2 million 5G stations, far surpassing the mere 270,000 in the United States. Recently, China revealed the groundbreaking all-frequency 6G chip. Capable of delivering staggering internet speeds exceeding 100 gigabits per second, this technology reaches even the most remote areas. That's an astonishing 5,000 times quicker than what we find in some regions of the US. As these innovations unfold, China's military also claims to reap the benefits of impressive technological advancements, but how true is that? In 1978, the People's Liberation Army was often scoffed at, regarded as ineffective for a nation of over 1 billion. Fast forward to the present, and it stands as the third most powerful military worldwide, right behind the United States and Russia. But does this claim hold up under scrutiny? With cutting-edge technologies being showcased almost weekly, the real question lingers: when the rubber meets the road, how effective is this military force, if at all? In recent months, China's military technology has made headlines, showcasing innovations that are both surprising and formidable. The Chinese military introduced a striking array of advancements, including an all-terrain military drone made entirely through 3D printing. This futuristic machine can traverse land, sea, and air, marking a significant leap in design and functionality. They unveiled a new tailless stealth drone that acts as a wingman, enhancing combat capabilities significantly. However, the list doesn't stop there. The Chinese military also debuted the KJ-3000, a high-tech surveillance aircraft. Accompanying this, the LY-1, a laser system mounted on ships, is now capable of intercepting both drones and missiles, while a truck-mounted air defense system called OW-5A50 promises to neutralize low-flying threats from up to 6 miles away. To top it off, they revealed the Rain of Pear Blossom Needles bomb, packed with razor-sharp tungsten needles, designed to shred almost anything upon release without causing dramatic explosions. Yet, there's more. They introduced a graphite bomb engineered to disrupt power plants and transmission lines. This weapon boasts a remarkable payload, releasing 90 submunitions and capable of creating a blackout across an area exceeding 105,000 square feet. Does this relentless pace of innovation present a genuine threat? Indeed, some of China's military equipment, like the J-10C fighter jets, have previously faced criticism as subpar compared to advanced Western aircraft like the F-35 Lightning II. However, an incident during a conflict between India and Pakistan revealed a dramatic twist. The J-10CS proved remarkably effective, allegedly neutralizing 3 of the highly regarded French Rafale jets by jamming their sophisticated radar systems. Unquestionably, the People's Liberation Army has heavily invested in overhauling air forces, defenses, and drone capabilities. But where does this leave their naval power? The extensive improvements in this sector genuinely pique interest, especially as reports indicate that China now operates the largest navy globally, with over 370 vessels and submarines. How will this military evolution shape global dynamics? And what does it mean for potential conflicts in the future? Stay tuned as we unravel the implications of these rapid advancements. The ever-intensifying maritime rivalry has taken an astonishing turn. Picture the tension: 2 Chinese warships, hot on the tail of a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, boasting their growing power, collide spectacularly. This blunder is not just an embarrassing blip in naval operations, it raises serious doubts about the formidable image of the Chinese military. What really lies beneath the surface of the People's Liberation Army Navy? On August 11, 2025, amidst rising tensions in the Indo-Pacific region, a shocking incident unfolded. A Type 056 Chinese Coast Guard corvette chases a Philippine vessel, its engines roaring with aggression. Yet, a sudden turn leads to utter chaos. As the corvette attempts an audacious maneuver, it collides with a Type 052D destroyer instead. The crash is more than just a miscalculation, it reveals significant flaws in the mightiest navy in the world. Video footage catches frantic crew members preparing for impact, yet the consequences are disastrous, with Philippine officials reporting casualties. What if the damage had extended to the smaller vessels, risking catastrophe? As we analyze the implications of this collision, it becomes clear that China's naval might may be more facade than reality. While boasting numbers that far exceed its rivals, questions linger regarding the quality of its fleet. This was not the first display of weakness, as analysts note worrying trends in ship management and design. The contrast is stark. China's rapid ascent from a naval underdog to the world's largest fleet does not guarantee superiority. With uncertainties surrounding their ships' capabilities, is the plan truly prepared for a major maritime conflict? While China's economic surge has positioned it as a manufacturing titan, echoing a history of poverty that transformed overnight, the quality of its warships brings unease. The massive financial investments into naval technology result in a fleet that boasts sheer numbers. A 2024 report from the U.S. Defense Department shows the plan with over 370 vessels, outpacing the U.S. Navy by a small margin, 234 to 219 in terms of operational warships. Yet, this statistic fails to account for the U.S. military's sealed advantage in crucial vessels. With the U.S. maintaining a powerful fleet of aircraft carriers and advanced submarines, China's newly launched Type 075 helicopter carrier seems inadequate by comparison. Despite the staggering number of shipyards producing vessels at breakneck speed, does quantity overshadow quality? A report claims that China constructed more commercial ships by tonnage in 2024 than the U.S. has produced since World War II. Yet, what good is quantity without quality? Deep-seated fears echoed by former U.S. officials indicate a national concern. Look at the difference in shipbuilding between the United States and China. Deeply concerning. But beneath this facade, the truth about the plan's true capabilities continues to ripple through maritime politics. The shocking question remains, will the Chinese Navy's recent blunders destabilize its image as a naval powerhouse, or are they merely growing pains on the path to greater dominance? As the seas become battlegrounds of power, one thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher in the evolving naval landscape. What lies ahead for both China and its rivals? Only time will tell if the plan will rise to greatness or find itself ensnared in its own miscalculations. Imagine a clash on the waves, where two warships of a rising power collide in an embarrassing mishap. This incident not only exposed an unexpected vulnerability but also raised unsettling questions about the might of a navy that boasts itself as the largest in the world. August 11, 2025, two Chinese warships collided while pursuing a Filipino vessel in the contentious Indo-Pacific waters. As the dust settled, the shocking truth emerged: this was no mere accident. Caught on camera by the Philippine Coast Guard, the chaotic scene revealed not just a collision, but the unraveling of a narrative that proclaimed the strength of the Chinese Navy, known as the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN. A Type 056 corvette, in a reckless maneuver, attempted to cut off the Philippine vessel but instead slammed into a larger Type 052D destroyer. Imagine the thunderous crash as metal met metal, the bow of the destroyer crumpled like paper. The incident reportedly claimed the lives of two Chinese sailors, a startling commentary on the operational efficiency of this supposedly formidable fleet. As analysts began untangling the implications, one thought echoed like a haunting refrain: are these warships, heralded as technological marvels, merely high-tech junk? The Type 052D destroyers, hailed as the backbone of PLAN, are supposed to embody advanced naval combat technology. But after such a catastrophic mishap, one blogger known as That Guy, Noah, raised eyebrows with his assertion that the quality of Chinese warships falls short of expectations. There are around 25 active Type 052D destroyers, boasting sophisticated radar systems and advanced weaponry. However, intended for blue water operations, these ships emphasize military might through stealth and size, with a cruising range effectively designed for operations far from home. The real question remains: can their capabilities withstand the kind of mishap witnessed during this ill-fated encounter? Shocking yet compelling, this incident carries legacies that echo through the annals of naval history. Beneath the glossy surface of China's naval ambitions lies a precarious foundation, a reminder that numbers don't guarantee strength, especially when the seas grow tumultuous. What does it mean for a navy that promotes its power in quantity to be challenged by its own acknowledged limitations in quality? Dive deeper into this challenge of modern naval warfare. Will the ambitions of the plan rise above the watery grave of a collision that questioned their status as a global maritime power? As the waves settle, a chilling realization dawns: in the quest for naval supremacy, the tide may turn unexpectedly, with consequences that could reshape the very nature of international naval power. Could this be the storm before the calm, or the catalyst for a force yet to be reckoned with? Imagine the deafening roar of waves crashing against steel hulls, the acrid sting of smoke from engines revving at full throttle. Can a single fatal collision between Chinese warships expose a naval superpower's darkest secret, inferior quality hidden behind a facade of might? In the Indo-Pacific clashes of 2025, this incident didn't just bend metal, it bent the narrative of global dominance. Continuing from the prior segment, where two Chinese vessels collided in a reckless pursuit, damaging a destroyer and questioning their navy's prowess, we now explore the armored giant at the heart of the chaos, the Type 052D destroyer, a behemoth bristling with tech yet scarred by fragility. Clichés about quantity over quality now feel like harsh truths. And what if this ship's design holds clues to a historical pattern of shortcuts? Picture the twist: a vessel built for blue water battles, yet cracking under its own weight in a friendly mishap. This raises a chilling question: is China's naval giant just a paper tiger? Listen to the creak of buckling steel, feel the tremble of impacted decks. Each part of the Type 052D destroyer pulses with power, from the 130mm H/PJ-38 naval gun unleashing thunderous blasts against surface foes, to the Type 730 or Type 1130 close-in weapon systems slicing through threats like a hot knife. The HHQ-10 short-range surface-to-air missile system hovers ready, a shield against incoming dives. Two triple torpedo launchers lurk below, promising underwater devastation. And then there's the four-panel active electronically scanned array radar, dubbed Dragon's Eye. Piercing the horizon with relentless scans, detecting targets miles away, their electronic hum a constant vigilance in foggy seas. But the destroyer's eyes extend further. Additional sensors amplify the intensity: Type 364 radar whispering echoes of distant aircraft, Type 366 probing the waves, and Type 517B radar locking onto hidden perils. For the depths, the SJD-9 hull-mounted sonar plunges deep, its vibrations mapping submerged dangers, while the SJG-311 variable depth sonar plunges even deeper, a sonar symphony hunting submarines in silent warfare. No stone is left unturned in connectivity either. The Joint Service Integrated Data Link System mirrors NATO's Link 16, forging seamless bonds with allies, and the Naval Common Tactical Data Link ensures every asset shares intelligence like a shared heartbeat. On parchment, this warship stands as a formidable titan, one of China's rare blue water enforcers capable of projecting force across vast oceans. Yet, a stark irony looms. Despite this naval expansion, China clings to the U.S. Navy's protection for its vast fleet of container ships, those metal arteries carrying gadgets and goods worldwide. Consumer dreams sail safely under Uncle Sam's shadow, a dependency that makes the collision's damage all the more galling. Examine the images of the Type 052D's crumpled bow, bent and twisted as if struck by an invisible hammer. Why such ruin? Slowing before impact couldn't explain this devastation. Inferior welds? Subpar steel? The answer might lie in a system's core flaw. Communist regimes, historically. Chase numbers over excellence, flooding fields with shoddy gears that falter under scrutiny. Flashback to World War II's brutal theaters. A lone German Tiger I tank, forged from superior alloys and precision, decimated Soviet platoons, up to 12 mass-produced T-34s crumpling like tin cans in its wake. The Soviets prioritized sheer volume, a torrent of tanks drowning quality in repetition. China, mirroring this path, pours resources into a navy swelling beyond the U.S., yet echoes of that same flaw reverberate. Is this destroyer doomed to repeat history, its edges fraying under real-world strain? Inhale the metallic tang of exposed circuits, taste the salt spray bitterness. As we peel back the layers of this maritime masquerade, one thought grips tight: what if the world's largest fleet harbors secrets that could shatter confidence in a flash? The Type 052D's arsenal shouts power, but its marred visage hints at vulnerability. Sailing into the sunset, the story whispers: is China's naval dream sinking before it truly battles? Consider the uncanny parallel: just as Soviet behemoths rusted from within, could this incident foreshadow a fall? Feel the chill of expectation, the distant rumble of unrest. In the Indo-Pacific, alliances fray, economies pivot, and now, a warship's wound reveals fractures in the armor of ambition. Imagine the deafening roar of waves crashing against steel hulls, the acrid sting of smoke from engines revving at full throttle. Can a single fatal collision between Chinese warships expose a naval superpower's darkest secret, inferior quality hidden behind a facade of might? In the Indo-Pacific clashes of 2025, this incident didn't just bend metal, it bent the narrative of global dominance. From Chinese warships ramming each other in a hot chase after a Philippine guard boat, causing deadly harm and sparking doubts about fleet reliability, we shift to the armaments that define the Type 052D destroyer, a colossal vessel armed to the teeth yet flawed beneath its surface. The Type 052D destroyer boasts a 130mm H/PJ-38 naval gun that bellows thunderous shells at foes on land or sea. Its Type 730 or Type 1130 close-in weapon systems zigzag defenses, repelling threats with precision fury. The HHQ-10 short-range surface-to-air missile system arches upward, a vigilant guardian against aerial assaults. Two triple torpedo launchers lurk ready, unleashing underwater havoc. Towering above all is the 4-panel active electronically scanned array radar, known as Dragon's Eye, its watchful gaze spanning miles, tracking multiple targets in swirling storms and calm seas alike. This electronic sentinel reigns supreme. The Type 364 radar echoes whispers of incoming planes from afar. The Type 366 probes deeper into the waves, revealing hidden perils. The Type 517B radar locks onto elusive size in the void. Below decks, the SJD-9 hull-mounted sonar vibrates through the ship's skin, mapping submerged shadows with a steady hum. The SJG-311 variable depth sonar dives further. A sonar song piercing depths to hunt lurking submarines in silent predation. Connectivity binds it all, the Joint Service Integrated Data Link System rivals NATO's Link 16, weaving intelligence like silk threads. The Naval Common Tactical Data Link pulses with shared data, making allies a unified force across oceans. In theory, this warship epitomizes might, a rare blue-water behemoth projecting China's influence globally. But reality delivers a cruel twist. For all its naval surge, China leans on the U.S. Navy to safeguard container ships brimming with worldly wares, a reliance underscoring latent weakness. Images of the Type 052D's bow tell a tale of agony, buckled and warped, unsailable for any voyage. Slowed before contact, yet shattered so utterly, what sorcery lurks? Poor craftsmanship or tainted steel? He suggests communist legacies favor volume over virtue, yielding flawed marvels that crumble under truth's grindstone. Recall World War II's savage grind, where one exquisite German Tiger I tank felled Soviet squads, a dozen low-tier T-34s crumbled like chaff. The Soviets favored floods of machinery over mastery, a blind rush echoing China's current path. Quantity swells, quality falters. Does this destroyer echo doomed patterns, its veneer cracking under minute pressure? Breathe the sharp ozone of sparked wires, hear the groan of twisted metal. Does China's fleet signal an impending downfall, or a wake-up call? The collision ripples wider, but what hidden faults await in the shadows? Inhale the salty dread of open ocean, sense the tremor of uneasy depths. As boom in manufacturing powers global shelves, laptops, autos, and trains, from toys to jets, the Navy buffets, yet chinks show. From impoverished past leaping to economic titan, the reforms birth miracles, bridges defying gorges, rails zipping at 186 miles per hour zero-emission speeds, drones mutating nature itself. Military unveilings dazzle, silent killers shattering skies, lasers boiling drones, but now, a humiliating smash unmasks the sheen. What if this friendly fire foreshadows a clash where numbers buckle? Feel the pulse of innovation's double life, the chill of exposed fragility. In the battle of fleets, will China's growth shatter under its own momentum? The destroyer sails damaged, but questions linger sharper than any blade. Is this the twist that topples empires? A spectacular incident unfolded recently that could change the landscape of naval power and raise eyebrows about the might of one of the world's largest militaries. On August 11, 2025, in the volatile Indo-Pacific region, two Chinese warships collided while seemingly trying to intimidate a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. It was a stunning instance of naval miscalculation, a moment that sent shockwaves through the military community. Imagine the tension in the air as a Chinese Coast Guard corvette pursued its target, only to execute a maneuver that led to a disastrous crash with a Type 052D destroyer. Instead of cutting off the Philippine vessel, the corvette slammed into the much larger destroyer, causing damage that left analysts questioning the integrity of China's expanding naval fleet. Such an embarrassing misstep raises the alarming question: how robust is the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy, really? As footage from the Philippine Coast Guard emerged, depicting the chaos just before impact, opinions diverged. Some assert this is indicative of deeper problems with the plan. The Chinese Navy's capabilities are under serious scrutiny. Are these ships engineered to withstand the rigors of actual combat, or is the Navy just a facade of power? Delving deeper, comparisons with the U.S. Navy illuminate the disparities. The Type 052D, at approximately 7,500 tons, seems lightweight compared to the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, which weigh between 8,300 and 9,700 tons. Critics like military analyst Noah suggest that this difference points to inferior construction materials, specifically, lightweight steel. To him, sacrificing quality for quantity could spell disaster in a high-stakes conflict. As he reflects, the U.S. prioritizes the safety of its sailors with solid engineering, while the Type 052D raises concerns. If it can't endure the impact of a corvette, how would it fare against true adversaries, such as the United States? However, herein lies the twist: the damage observed on the Type 052D wasn't as catastrophic as presumed. The images circulating online misrepresented the extent of the destruction, showcasing damage inflicted primarily on the corvette instead. The Type 052D exhibited typical wear for a warship that survived a collision. This revelation ignites a fresh debate about the true capabilities of China's naval fleet. Are we witnessing the reality that strength on paper often contrasts starkly with battlefield performance? With the plan boasting over 370 ships, questions linger: can they truly contend with the might of their counterparts? As the Chinese military continues its remarkable evolution, could this incident be the beginning of a powerful navy that still requires scrutiny and due diligence? Amidst the chaos of the Indo-Pacific waters, a shocking incident unfolded that raised eyebrows and ignited debates worldwide. On August 11, 2025, two Chinese warships collided while pursuing a Philippine Coast Guard vessel. The Japanese proverb of friendly fire came to life in a most embarrassing manner, exposing cracks in the proud front of China's naval dominance. But how did such a blunder occur? Was it sheer incompetence, or does it reveal deeper issues within the might of the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy, known as Plan? In the midst of a high-speed chase, a Type 056 corvette, hot on the tail of a Philippine craft, attempted a reckless maneuver. The outcome? Instead of cutting off its target, it crashed into a Type 052D destroyer. In seconds, what should have been a show of strength turned into a spectacle of folly. The clash sent ripples through military circles, prompting urgent inquiries into the state of China's naval prowess. With one vessel severely damaged and rumors of casualties among the Chinese crew, a question lingered: could the world's largest navy actually be at risk of sinking beneath its own weight? The aftermath of this clash raises a critical question about quality versus quantity within the plan. While China's navy boasts more vessels than any other nation, the startling incident has pointed to substantial concerns regarding the construction and design of these ships. Some analysts have begun to draw parallels between China's condition today and the decline of the Soviet Union, warning that inadequately built ships could spell disaster in a real conflict. However, these claims don't paint the whole picture. To understand the core of this issue, we must delve into the evolution of China's military since the economic reforms initiated in the late 1970s. Once a nation with shoddy military equipment and widespread poverty, China today stands as a fierce contender on the global stage. The plan has undergone a significant transformation, showcasing advances in technology and sheer numbers. Yet, in the shadows of innovation lie unanswered questions about the structural integrity of new vessels. Are they truly formidable opponents, or are they ticking time bombs waiting to explode in the chaos of battle? Concerned whispers resonate among defense analysts regarding the reliability of Chinese warships. Despite the dent on the Type 052D seeming trivial, it raises eyebrows. Many opine that this incident may not provide definitive proof of poor construction. But then again, will the next encounter reveal the true mettle of Chinese military craftsmanship? The pursuit of supremacy in naval power carries unexpected consequences, and this collision hints at broader implications. What does this say about the plan's preparedness for an actual conflict? Are we on the cusp of seeing whether quantity can triumph over the intricacies of design and engineering? As the world watches, the unanswered questions related to the efficacy of the Chinese naval fleet sharpen in the spotlight, and what remains to be seen is how the plan will respond to these formidable challenges ahead. The clash was more than just an immediate embarrassment, it was a catalyst for deeper scrutiny into the fabric of a rapidly evolving superpower.
Will this incident inspire a re-evaluation of naval strategies, or will it be swept under the tide of maritime politics?
The waters are murky, and one thing is clear: all eyes are now on the next move in this intricate geopolitical game.
The previous part delved into the uncertain capabilities of the Chinese Navy.
With limited combat experience since the early 1990s and relatively minor skirmishes, uncertainties loom regarding the effectiveness of its modern fleet against technologically superior adversaries. In the South China Sea and along the Indian border, China has engaged in minor altercations, yet a true conflict has eluded it since the early 90s.
The lingering ghost of the Vietnam War haunts China's military history.
After that war, which ended in 1973, there were sporadic tensions with Vietnam that fizzled out by the late 80s. There's a creeping suspicion that much of the Chinese naval fleet may be little more than decrepit vessels masquerading as a formidable armada. In a clash with the US, the might of this so-called navy could be utterly inadequate. Despite this, the continuous stream of technological breakthroughs from China compels the US to view it as a serious threat. Until more tangible evidence surfaces, beyond mere cosmetic damages, the cautious approach remains vital. The unfolding narrative of military readiness is captivating, and the stakes have never been higher.
Such revelations take us deeper into China's military arsenal. How will the next chapter unfold? Are we witnessing the birth of a true military powerhouse, or is it just an illusion? What if the true nature of the fleet is far from what's portrayed?
As the story continues, gripping revelations await.
For years, China's military presence has loomed large, especially in the South China Sea and along its borders with India.
Yet, in reality, China has not engaged in a significant military conflict since the early 1990s. The echoes of the Vietnam War still linger, marking one of the last major campaigns the nation undertook.
Despite intermittent clashes with Vietnam that lingered into the late 1980s, those skirmishes were nothing close to full-frontal warfare. Is it possible that much of China's naval power is merely a mirage? An assemblage of outdated vessels that stands no chance against the sleek, technologically advanced fleet of the United States? Such questions arise as we consider the daunting prospect of a potential conflict. But here's the catch: until concrete evidence emerges beyond mere mishaps like collisions, the pace of Chinese military innovation remains a considerable force to reckon with. The United States wisely maintains a cautious stance, keeping a vigilant eye on the shifting landscape. As the world watches, new developments may reshape our understanding of military readiness. What truths lie beneath the surface, and could they change the face of global power dynamics forever? Stay tuned for updates that will delve deeper into this unfolding narrative. Things may not be what they seem.